So we're back after some temp. Since our camera and our mic and everything, USN has scored 2 runs, and now it's driving to center field. It's going to be dropped to the center fielder. He throws it in. Back in it, we have 2 outs. Scores 2-0.
Around third base, I can't see who it is. It's Brock. But Brock made a turn around third base. He threw it back to third at the same time. And a second tag after he overran it. And the umpire first called him safe on the first tag and out on the second one. Third out.
And that is a really unfortunate hit. They had a chance to score the first inning. With a score of 2-0 USN. So we've got no more video. Our camera is not working, and we're just putting it away now. Still got audio for you. Still going to call this game as it happens. 2-0 going into the first. USN with a lead, and now up to bat for Cambridge is going to be the first baseman Shelton. Now Shelton steps up to the plate. Let's look at the first pitch. And it's a ball outside. 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on a miss. 1-1. Low place ball, low in the strike zone. But certainly not low enough to be called a ball. He swung at it and missed it. We got a 1-1 count. That was going to be grounded. It did go out of bounds, or it did go in foul territory, excuse me. We got a 1-2 count. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. It was a high ball, but he got him to chase it, and we have 1 out now. USN outfielders excited about that one, celebrating the strikeout here.
When it's cold as it is today, you see a little more celebration, just anything to keep moving.
Yeah, you're right about that. The outfielders certainly trying to keep warm. They didn't get much action last time out, as not a single ball went into the outfield. It might be some here, who knows. It's not as nice as the pace was last time. We were 70 and sunny last time. Now it's 50 and rainy, and there we got a strike for Townsend. It'll be an 0-2 count now. Ball was outside, bottom outside corner of the strike zone. It was a great strike. Now the 0-2 pitch, strike 3, caught him looking. Outfield certainly excited about that one. Backwards K for Cane Ridge. Inside in the strike zone, but still certainly a strike. And now we've got 2 outs. Another one low and inside. 2-0 the count. Stevenson with a 2-0 count. He throws the third pitch. Will be another ball. That one low. Middle of the strike zone, but still 2-0. We call a strike. And it's now 3-0. Got to imagine that Clemens is going to take this one for Painterage. Unlikely to swing here. But still, you never know what somebody's going to do with a 3-0 count. Could be a perfect pitch coming. We'll see. 3-0 pitch right down the middle. It was that perfect pitch I was talking about, but it actually takes it as a 2-0 swing on a 3-0 count. He must have thought he was back here. That one low and gets back in and out there back. 5 pitch going for Townsend. So now he's got a runner on first base. And we've still got 2 outs. Bryant, the shortstop, now steps up to the plate. He looks eager to hit this ball. With the way Townsend is pitching, it's not likely he'll get a deep drive. He picks up the first base, dives back in time. This gets him to the first pitch to Bryant. They pick off first base that time. He checks first base. Now he goes, picks off again, steps off the rubber, he gets back in time. It's a good move, but not nearly enough to catch Clemens sleeping. And he gets back to first with plenty of time. So I imagine Townsend's going to throw a pitch now after 2 pickoffs, and he does. High leg kick, throws it low in the dirt. When you stick out in the leg kick when you get right to first base, usually go for the slide step. Not sure if that's just a point out. Maybe just one no slide step. I like pitch outside. You think if you're on first base that you see a high leg kick, you can try to get a jump and try to steal the base. Swung on a miss, needs to throw it back now. And he comes back in time. But it looked like a great pitch to hit. If you're a high ball, that's perfect. It's a 3-2 now. Go. Swung out and missed the net. Top off the game.
Strikeouts for Townsend. He did a great job helping himself out there in situations that were starting to get a little bit stickier than I'm sure he would have liked.
Well, he's showing he can deal with some adversity early on, and that's always been exciting to see, especially this early in the season. A guy who's dealing with some struggle on the mound, but he gets out without being too rattled by it. see Harry in the on-deck circle. Will be leading off the inning. Tigers. Bergia still on the mound. Get hit there. It looked like he dodged it. But he wore it. Must have tried to sleep it. He got away the ball. It hit him. So now we have a runner on first base is Harry Fitzgibbons. Dylan taking a short lead off of first base. First pitch to Harry is a low strike. Dylan tries to back. Safe for USN on the base paths, and we have an 0-1 count. Given tries to step out of the box. The umpire isn't going to give it to him. Now he swings. Second, gets by the first baseman. He's going to go try and score. He runs third base. Looks like he's going to stay at third. So runners on first and third now. Coach G was waving him home by the time he ran to third. Go home. Coach G called it back. So we have runners on first and third. Likely going to see a first, third steal play, and probably going to have two runners in scoring position in the next few seconds. As third baseman Greg Riley was playing shortstop last game. Now he's at third. He steps up to the plate. And they're calling time now. It looks like there's some sort of malfunction with the catcher's equipment. Maybe he was just meeting with coach. Not quite sure. All seems to be well. Now he heads back behind the plate. Hard to tell what's going on there. But it looks like
you called it right, Reed. It looked like he was more getting instructions from the coach than anything, conveying those instructions after.
Yeah, probably going to see some kind of interesting first and third defense here from Cane Ridge, as I have to imagine Harry would steal. He doesn't, though. He takes a big secondary. Now they're going to throw back to third base. Dylan gets there in time. And once again, we have runners on the corner. Harry steals here on the 0-1 pitch. He does. He takes a late jump, but they're just going to throw back the pitch, and I'm going to worry about Harry in a second. So 2 runners in scoring position, and Riley's in a good position to drive home. He does have a 0-2 count, so he's going to have to swing anything close. I gotta imagine he's giving the takes on that last pitch just because of the steal, so probably his fault that he's in this count. He is in an 0-2 hole regardless. The 0-2 pitch outside, they're going to throw him back to third base once again. They're not going to get Dylan. He's back in time. Dog is there way before the ball is. So 1-2 count, 2 runners in scoring position, and Grant steps back in the box. Pitch swung on. He still has some fielding skills. And once again, 1-2 count.
Not bad for an old catcher. That was his position. A lot of times catchers are not so comfortable careful with those ground balls, but Coach G made it look easy.
1-2 pitch, high and outside, 2-2. Yeah, Coach G doesn't even have a glove on, but he had perfect form fielding that ball in foul territory. You always love to see a coach do that. 2-2 now. Again, taking his time to step back on the mound. Now he comes set. 2-2 pitch, hit the plate, thought about swinging, decided against it, full count now. So McGee, he had him 0-2. Now he's got a full count. 3-2. Obviously, you still want to swing at anything relatively close if you're Riley. But he's on a bit of a cold streak here, so we'll see if Riley even gets a chance to swing. 3-2 pitch, and it's called strike 3. I thought that was going to be ball number 4. It's low in the strike zone. I didn't like that pitch at all, but the umpire liked it. Certainly liked it. Right pitch. Yeah, questionable call there. We only got one out though, so still a good chance those 2 runs are going to score. Looked at and it goes right down the middle. Lead off batter. That ball swung on, hit into right field, going to be a foul ball, and it goes over the fence, so no play to be made on it. 1-2 now for Mahoney. He had a fly out to center field earlier. It looked like it could have gotten by the center fielders. There was a huge puddle of water that he almost fell in. But he did come up with the catch. It was a really great play. So Mahoney with a 1-2 count and 1 out. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, ripped up the middle. Looks like 2 runs are going to score Harry. Now Harry's going to stay at third base. As the ball did end up getting fielded by Bryant, the shortstop. Went right up that gap. Looked like they could have gotten 2 runs on it, if not for a great defensive play by Bryant at the shortstop position. So once again, runners on the corners, USN increases the lead.
Piece of hitting by Mahoney there. Really effective. You can see why he's batting in the number 1.
Yeah, it's a great job to drive that run home and now get on base. He is a base running threat, so really everything you could want there from Mahoney. He scores a run, and now he's on base to pose a threat. Second base away last time for nothing. We got a run down. And now Harry Fitzgibbon was caught back in third base. He scores the ball. It's overthrown to the catcher. Mahoney advances to second base. Harry was standing there. He took a secondary lead. Didn't realize the throw was coming from the catcher. Must have been distracted by something else. The throw came. It was caught by Douglas at third. So Harry decided to run home. Douglas threw it back, threw it a little too quickly, and it goes way over the head of Lindsley behind the plate. So USN gets another run there, really by chance, to be completely honest. But 4-0's the score, and Mahoney advances to second base.
Yeah, Coach G has some wild plays, as you know, where runners seemingly get intentionally, quote-unquote, picked off. But usually it's the runner between first and second, certainly not one between third and home.
I don't think that was the case there at third base, but you never know. Coach G is always creative when it comes to base paths. And now Owen Block, that one is hit shortstop. Mahoney will advance to third. He almost beat the throw out, but they got him in time. So now at third base, we got 1 runner on. We got 2 outs, and Nathan Woodard's at the plate as Owen Block grounds out there.
Yeah, as you said, Owen was very close to beating that out. I had keen interest in what the umpire was going to call there because it wasn't terribly clear to me.
And of course, up here, but it was certainly a close play. Going to finish at first base. But it wasn't close enough to give Owen the benefit of the doubt.
Let's see if Nathan can bring Mahoney home here with
going oppo here would be great for Nathan. He's got a 1-1 count now. Is that with the ball?
I just shut down.
That ball swung on. Look at a foul ball. It lands right by the fence of the softball field. That's right next to the baseball field here. 1-2 now on the senior. Trying to bring the freshman at third base home. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed high. Strike 3, and that'll end the inning. USN, they pick up another 2 runs, head into the third inning with a 4-0 lead. But they do leave a runner on third base.
And Nathan wasn't happy with himself. It was a fastball now, but it looked like he also didn't have a lot on it. Maybe some sort of off-speed pitch up out of his zone. And Nathan expected a little bit more out of himself on that.
Yeah, but you can't beat yourself up too much there. You got 6 strikes. You got 28 close up. Honestly, you could have done better. You really can't beat yourself up too much there. It's a tough scenario. That's tough. But it's a tough situation, and you got to cut him a little bit of slack, and he should cut himself a little bit of slack there. Rain is starting to pick up here at the river campus. You might be able to hear it pouring down on our umbrella here. You might see this game. There might be a rain out coming soon, but they're still playing. It's just a little drizzle, nothing too much, and it's still definitely playable. But the rain conditions could get a little worse here. So don't be surprised if this game is called off in the next few minutes or hours. Do you think this game's going to be called off? Or do you think it's not going to be playing?
Well, it all comes down to the field condition, I would say. You know, like as long as the field is playable, no reason really not to play the game because of a little rain. But if it makes it so that the ball can't even travel through the infield, then at that point they'll have to call it.
Yeah, that is one of the problems with having a entirely grass infield like USN does. Now we're going to start the third inning here. And the first pitch, high ball, 1-0 count. I'd like to have some optimism that this game's going to continue. But you looked at the field earlier, there were some puddles of water in the outfield. Here we have the 1-0 pitch swung on. Hit, and it's going to be right out of base, out of first base, 1 out for the Tigers. You look at the outfield, at bat for the Tigers. Mahoney hits it to center field, you got that huge splash of water. So I got a feeling that the field can only hold out for so much longer.
Local people who are tuning in are well aware, so the field is quite saturated.
Yeah, obviously the rain last night does not help, and it was pouring last night. So new at bat here, Townsend. He throws that pitch low, but it'll be a low strike, 0-1 count.
Yeah, I want to come back to the play that Grant Riley made over there at third. That was a very tough play, again, as you were saying, on a slow infield. Really had to charge in, make a good, clean field, and a good throw.
Yeah, one pitch popped up, and it'll be a foul ball. Yeah, that is a tough play, especially when the infield, like you said, is so wet and the ball can hardly travel. To be able to get to that ball, get the throw off in time is a great transfer from Grant Riley at third base, from the glove to the throwing hand. Great work by the freshman.
who are playing at a very high level already. We got to give a lot of credit to our middle school program. Coaching staff there has done an excellent job preparing the players for the bright lights of high school baseball.
First pitch to that at bat, and it's going to be a line drive right to Quinn Powers. Sorry, it wasn't the first pitch, but it was a line drive to Quinn Powers. I got to retire him. Now we have 2 outs. And you're right, that middle school program, they won the HVAC recently. I want to say 2 years ago, or it had to be 2 years ago. It's the most recent season. Obviously, there was no season. Yeah, great work by them, and you're right, the USN baseball program, the middle school development has been spot on lately. And you look right now, we got a sophomore pitcher. 2 days ago, we had a sophomore pitcher throw a no-hitter. Our infield, we got sophomore first, sophomore second, sophomore short, and a freshman at third. The only senior on the field right now is Nathan Woodard, the catcher. That ball grounded. Another one to Grant Riley, and he falls down as he throws it, and he just gets him. That is an incredible play. Grant Riley falling down as he threw it, as it is a slippery infield. He just gets to Colin France, who reaches out to get that ball. That is unbelievable, and a great way to end the inning for USN. Another inning where no runs were scored for Cane Ridge, and that is just fantastic from the Tigers.
Great play by Grant. Looked like the runner sort of tried to leap into the bag at first base. Probably cost himself a hit there. If he had just sprinted through the bag, I think he would have maintained speed a little better and had a good chance to beat the throw. But as it was, Grant made an excellent play to get it over there as quickly as he did, just in time to retire the run.
And boy, do we wish that we had some video of that play, because that was fantastic from the freshman third baseman. That reminded me of Manny Machado back in his Baltimore Orioles days. He made some plays like that. That was unbelievable from Grant. But you're right, just to hit on those points again about this young team, we only have 1 senior on the field, no juniors, as our 2 juniors are out. I believe they're both on vacation. So 1 senior, and Wyatt Washko is a senior. He's not playing today, as he is a pitcher, and he did not get the start. But apart from Nathan, the entire team is sophomores and freshmen. So the youth really showing up for USN so far is a great sign for years to come in this program.
Yeah, in particular, if you got a really solid defense behind the pitcher, that just makes the pitcher's job that much easier. They don't feel like they have to get all the outs themselves at the plate. They can just throw strikes, pitch to contact a little bit, and rely on the players behind them to help out where necessary.
Yeah, that is one of the most frustrating things as a pitcher, when you're throwing the ball where it needs to be, but your infield isn't making plays for you. That's certainly not been a problem for USN so far, and hopefully it'll stay that way for the rest of the year. So far, USN have been looking great on defense. They've yet to give up a run, knock on wood. And their offense isn't looking too shabby either. They throw it down here, so now the inning is about to start. Or at least this half of the inning, that is. Designated hitter and sophomore Aiden Savona will step up to the plate now. He's got Townsend and Collin following him. And after that, it'll be right fielder Dylan Washko. So Savona steps into the box, ready for his second at-bat of the day. Murguia still on the mound. He deals the first pitch. He got stuck with goes out as an outside strike. Well placed. Strike zone. 0-1. Yeah, one pitch outside. 1-1 will be the count now. The ball was a little high, but its placement outside was the real problem. So Murguia is still in control of this count, but it is 1-1. He's throwing the ball. 1-1 pitch swung on. fouled into the first base side of foul territory. Popped way up. It's totally overlanded. For the foul ball, now we have a 1-2 kick. The 1-2 pitch. You watch that one go by. It landed in the dirt. 2-2. Got to swing anything close here on the 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 8 head back to the dugout. That ball was low and inside. But I think we got 2 strikes on you. You still want to swing at that one anyway. Not a bad call by him. Unfortunately, he did not make contact. 1 out now for USN on offense. And the pitcher, Townsend Stevenson, will step up to the plate. First pitch, he takes it, and it's outside 1-0.
I give Murguia credit for a good pitch there. As you put it, just on the inside corner of the strike zone. Aiden did the right thing not laying off of it, but it was a good pitch.
1-1 now as that ball was high inside. That's a sign of a pitcher knows what he's doing. Not really giving you a softball there. 1-2 count. From the middle now. Another strike here. 1-2. In the strike zone. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. 2 straight strikeouts for Murguia. And we got 2 outs. Colin France, the first baseman, now steps up to the plate. First pitch to Colin. Just outside, 1-0. That was a good pitch, but just not enough. .1-0 pitch, swung on, popped up to first base, and that's the inning. 3 outs, 3 up, 3 down for the Ravens on defense. USN unable to put any runs on the board. So we head into the 4th inning, USN with 4 runs, Cane Ridge with 0.
Interesting sign at the time. He's falling in right field between innings.
Professional from the umpire. I know when I umpire, I don't do that. Breaks in between these innings. It is a rainy game. Maybe he's checking the weather. Who knows? The rain continues to pour down, but still not enough for this game to be in much danger. Still just a slight drizzle here at the River Campus. Not sure if it's better or worse on the other parts of the national here at the River Campus. Not sure how that affects the rain conditions. But still just good enough. There you go. They throw it down to second base to end the inning, or to end the warm-ups. And we head into the top of the 4th inning. Once again, USN leading 4-0. in the fourth inning in his first pitch. Going inside, but in the strike zone, paints the corner well. 0-1 count. Nathan heading back to the dugout. We saw him do this in the first game of the season against East Nashville. Looks like he's got a problem with the glove. He's going to get his backup glove. Looks like it's the same problem, or you got to imagine it is, that he had last time out. Some sort of string or something in his glove. Must have come undone. Some sort of glove malfunction. But a strike there, and another strike. 0-2 count now. That one, another one placed low in the strike zone. Another really well placed pitch from Townsend, and we have an 0-2 count. The 0-2 pitch. And it'll be a ball outside, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. High and outside, 2-2 now. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, hit in foul territory by right field. Looks like it went just over the batting cages. That ball had some serious. It went deep. Probably hit the fence, but it was in fair territory. But it hit just the right foul. Still 2 strikes here. 2-2 pitch. Another one foul in right field. Here, and that's a low ball. Good pitch, good miss for Townsend, but a miss nonetheless. So full count now. We had him at 0-2, now it's a full count. 3-2. Mahoney's going to dive and make the play. Mahoney comes up the back and to center. That is excellent stuff for the freshman. Full count, the ball right to the center field. Looked like it was just in between the infield and center. Play we wish we had video for. Great plays from freshmen. Last inning we had it from Grant Riley at third base. This time it's from Mahoney Donick at center. And we have one out.
Definitely the highlight of the year on defense so far. That was a spectacular play. He needed the full extension of the dive, and he got it.
That one swung on and missed. 0-1 count now. And that was just fantastic for Mahoney. You love to see that from anyone on the team, especially such a young player. And the next pitch for Townsend inside. Hitter had to move just out of the way so he didn't get hit by it. And it's 1-1 now. The 1-1. Last pitch we saw 2-1. 2-1 pitch, high and inside, 3-1 now. Cambridge hasn't shown too many great chances on offense, but only a 4-0 game. Very much still in this game. Lots of ball up in play. Basically, right down the middle. It looked like that could have been a little low. I certainly think all that does.
Plenty of low strikes today. Surprised that was not called.
And I think that would have been kind of strike. Throws it down, the throw just high, and Owen gets there on the backup. Pretty tough play for Owen there. He's behind Quinn Powers, was covering second base. The throw wasn't super close to him. Owen had to really track back and get that one. He had to reach out and get some full extension on that left arm, but he got there in time. Keeps Douglas from advancing from second to third. So they still get second base, but they keep it from being any worse than that. And now the 0-1 pitch for Townsend, and it hits the plate. 1-1 now. Earlier today. This time around. Douglas taking a moderate lead at second base. Now the lead is getting a bit bigger. Townsend comes set. And here's the pitch. Right down the middle for another strike. 1-2 is the count now. Set. 1-2 pitch. High, but he swung on it and missed. Strike 3, and we got 2 outs. Clemens, who's playing left field today, now will step into the box. He had a backwards K his last time up. He watched the third strike go by. Hopefully this time, at least for him, he'll at least swing at it. That time, that pitch back out of the box. Didn't look like the pitch was going to hit him. Backed out anyway, and it's called a ball as that one was in the dirt. 1-0. That ball, he bounces it in. Douglas advances from second base to third. So still only one runner on the base paths, and it is Douglas at third base. Nathan recovered from that really, blocked it up. It just got by and picked it up in time. But still not in time enough to keep that runner from advancing to third. But not much you can do there. Just got to be good. Had the fastball been worse.
There wasn't much Nathan could do there. Considerably from a home point. You could see how Nathan reacted to it. It wasn't the hop that he was expecting.
He's going to get by him. And they are going to score a run now as Nathan got to throw into Townsend. And now Douglas scores the first run of the day for Cane Ridge. And on that first one, yeah, there's not much you can do about it. And that is a good sign of a catcher to see him block it up the way he did. It took a tough bounce. Still got his chest on it. And that is a telltale sign of a good experience catcher. That one, the bounce just got by him. So now Cane Ridge get their first run of the day at 4-1 now. That pitch in the dirt once again. And he'll get a 4-pitch walk. So we got somebody warming up in the bullpen. I can't tell who it is from here. Looks like it's Wyatt Washko warming up. One of the team's top arms and the senior. I was talking about him earlier. And now there's going to be a meeting at the mound for Townsend. It looks like he might get taken out of the game here. He fist bumps the coach. Usually that means he's coming out, but Wyatt looks like he's just starting to get warmed up, so it looks like it's not quite time to put the new pitcher in. And it's just the three of them meeting, still talking, right in front of the mound. Decisive move. After that 4-pitch walk, we have a runner on first base, and the runner on third did score earlier. So only one runner on, and it's a 4-1 ball game here in the top of the fourth.
Might be a situation where time was just called to give Wyatt a little more time to warm up, and the Tigers may have the intention of bringing Wyatt into the game if Townsend is unable to retire the present batter.
Yeah, you do want to cool Townsend down there a little bit, as he had gotten 4 straight balls. You do want to break him out of that bad spell of luck. And now the runner's going to steal. Nathan tried to gun him down. That one goes over the man at second again. Quinn Powers this time was the backup who caught it. So Nathan had 2 good reads, transfers from the glove to the throwing arm. side of the throwing hand, but each throw was overthrown. So another runner will steal.
Could be a wet ball situation developing. I'm sure all the balls have been cycled through. Unlike Nathan to miss 2 throws like that, Townsend is now struggling to hit the strike zone. Could be a ball situation.
Townsend goes and picks off to third, and they get the out. He picked off to second base. Apology, was second base, not third base. He picked off. The runner dove. It looks like he got stopped in this wet mud. He didn't get there in time. Owen Block applies the tag, and that's the inning. So Cane Ridge only gets that 1 run. And, back to your point earlier about Nathan missing those throws, I got to imagine that the dirt behind the plate isn't too great either. It must be hard to get some footing back there. It's starting to get better. Like I said, the rain not too bad to make it unplayable, but it certainly has an effect on the game here, as we just saw there. The runner, he dove back to second base, but he didn't get all the way there. Looks like that's a problem. So, now we have the bottom of the 4th, USN leading 4-1. Is to pull off a miraculous 7-run inning here to run rule Cane Ridge. It's certainly possible. We've seen USN go on runs before. We saw it in the Garnet and White scrimmage. The White team scored, I want to say, 10 or 11 runs in 1 inning. They ended up winning the game. They scored 19, if I recall correctly. The final score was 19-2. USN knocked it up in a heartbeat. But unsure if we're going to see it here. It would be great for USN to end it now and just solidify this win. As Cane Ridge, they scored a run that inning, so they could be creeping back into this game. It would be great to put Cane Ridge away as soon as possible. I know we've got another arm warming up in the bullpen. It's hard to tell here, and he's got a sweatshirt on. I can't see his jersey number. But now the first at bat of the inning, that ball is outside, but it's called a strike. Looks like it's but he's not warming up. My guess would be it's Quinn. So Owen on the Owen pitch, swung on, pop up to first base, and he drops it. Like a foul ball. He could have put that out away. He could have put Dylan away there. Now Dylan still got great runs. It is on team. He stays alive, and he's got a chance to get on base now.
Yeah, that's a routine put out. First baseman has to make that play. He was camped under the ball for a good 2 seconds. Ball hit square in the glove, just wasn't able to bring it.
Yeah, like you said, with a wet ball, you could see that could be contributing to that mistake, but I think that's just poor judgment by the first baseman. You got to be able to get that ball. Look like, and there's the 0-2 pitch getting grounded to third base, and it gets by the third baseman. Douglas unable to come up with that one, so now Dylan will get to first base. But it looked like Sheldon's placement under the ball at first base. He's still in the same spot. As that came down and that, I think, was the biggest contributing factor there. Now Dylan Washko does get by via an error on Douglas at third base. So now runner on first base, Harry Fitzgibbon steps up to the plate. 2 fortunate mistakes for Dylan there. Land him on first base. Let's see if he can steal. He's a fast guy. But they're going to pick off. He gets back to first base standing up. Coach G signaling for him to get a bigger lead. He wants them diving back to first base. He wants it to be a big enough lead where you can dive. But of course, we just saw in the dive to second base, you can get stopped up in this wet dirt. So you might want to take a short lead and try to stand up. But Coach G telling him to take a long lead. They bunt, and Dylan tries to get second base. Harry's bunt is foul. Harry Fitzgibbon, wearing the number 7, the number of his brother, Liam Fitzgibbon, who wore the same number 7. He was a famous bunter on this USN team. He could lay down a solid bunt, and it played really well in the Coach G's small ball style of play. Harry that time he got the bunt down, but just went out of bounds, and now Dylan gets back to first base. They try to pick him off. That time he did dive. Did the all-white uniform dirty here. And he gets back safely. It is a tough dive to make in these weather conditions. He's going to go again. That time they might have gotten him, and he's just safe. The throw was there. The tag was there. Umpire says it wasn't in time, and I don't know. Looking at it from right field, I think we have a better view of the umpires. He stood right behind the pitcher's mound. It looked like they might have gotten him.
Yeah, I was very close.
But certainly a close play. When it is a tie, you do give it to the runner. Third pickoff in a row. Once again, taking advantage of Kane Ridge's mistakes. And it looks like he didn't slide pitch because you could already see the ball get by him. He didn't want to injure the second baseman, as there wasn't really much of a need to. He also doesn't want to injure himself, as you can get hurt here, sliding like that. Now, Harry's going to lay down the bunt down the third base line. That one looks like it's fair territory. And so, 1-2 count. Probably not going to see a bunt here, as you don't like the bunt with 2 strikes, especially when both of your previous bunts are balls. So, probably going to see a swing here from Harry. And I imagine there'll be some bunting practices for you. One-two pitch swung on, fouled yet again. Harry doing a good job of making Murguia's pitch count as high as possible. He's fouled off 2 there with 2 strikes. He's staying alive in the batter's box. 2 tough breaks there on foul bunts. It is always tough to give up a strike on a foul bunt, especially when it's so close to the line as that second one was. He's going really well here. And he's earned those 2 strikes that are on his count with those 2 foul balls, staying alive. And he's earned the spot in the box. Here comes the 1-2. It's high. 2-2 now. Dylan caught between second and third. And now he's in a real pickle. In a rundown. Nobody on third base. Dylan will advance to third in time. Once again, a defensive mistake by Kane Ridge. And Dylan takes advantage of it. Dylan, he got on base via a dropped foul ball by the first baseman, then a bobbled ground ball by the third baseman. He gets the second from an overthrow, and he gets the third from a lapse in communication or lapse in judgment or whatever that was from the Kane Ridge defense that left him without anybody covering third base in a second-third rundown. Now he's in scoring position, and you've got to attribute that to the mistakes of Kane Ridge. Themselves over that one. Counter runner on third. He's got no outs, and Murguia steps off the mound, or he steps off the rubber, and now he steps back on, ready to deliver this 2-2 pitch. The 2-2 pitch. Harry swings that one, once again a foul ball in the right-hand side of the field. So staying alive yet again, really working this count, making Murguia work his hardest to put him away.
To that rundown, that's just something that you can see early in the season. You know, the third baseman had the ball, he ran the runner back to second base, and after he delivered throw. No one was behind him. Normally, that would be the catcher's responsibility, but he just fell asleep.
Now ground ball to shortstop for Harry, and he gets to first base in time. Looks like he beat the throw, but the ball was dropped by Shelton anyway. The run scores. USN increased their lead yet again, and it's 5-1. So now Grant Riley, the third baseman who had that incredible play an inning and a half ago on defense, he steps up to the plate. That one is going to be a pop-up foul ball on the right-hand side of the field, just goes over the USN dugout, and he has an 0-1 count now. One runner on, it's Harry at first base, as Dylan was able to score there to give the Tigers their 5th run. And he's going to dive back. Gets there in time. Another pickoff. McGee loving these pickoffs. Maybe it's just to psych the hitter out. Because you can't imagine he thinks he's going to get all these outs. I mean, he almost got Dylan a couple times. He's been close a few times, but he's never gotten one. Now they lay down the bunt. Ridge did not expect that one. And Grant will get there in time. He slips as he tries to go to second base. The ball was overthrown. Get to second base. He dives in, just reaches the bag as he was stopped up by the dirt once again. So I would call that a single plus an error on the pitcher, because that was a very well done bunt. And he was going to beat the throw it anyway, but the throw went way over the head of Shelton at first base. And he was able to advance to second base, so now 2 runners in scoring position as Mahoney Donick steps up to bat. Third at bat of the day. He had a fly out to center field and a single.
He attempted to field that bunt. He was kicking up a lot of water in the infield there. The saturation of the field really starting to show.
Yeah, but it looks like the Raiders really stopped on it. That was a deep drive from Donick. That would have been a solid double or triple had it landed fair. But it was in foul territory, still on the field, but foul regardless. It's starting to stop. We've still got tiny little bits of rain coming down, and definitely some wind, but the rain not pouring down the way it was before, so that's a good sign for this baseball game. But the field, like you said, is certainly quite saturated. We got some birds now coming onto the field, sitting right in front of us in right center field. That's pretty nice to see. And now the 1-1 pitch, low 2-1 the count on Donick now.
See, 2 robins, a sign of spring, always a good thing, although it's very much feeling like winter today. And an Oriole out there. You referred to the Baltimore Orioles earlier, and we see the familiar orange crest on the wing.
That ball from Mahoney will be another foul ball. That went into right field. It went over the fence line inside the batting cages. Looks like Miller in right field tried to make a play on it. It was over the fence anyway. Yeah, definitely some contrast in the weather of last game and today. It feels like a winter day at this game, but it certainly felt like spring last time. And that is just natural weather for you. Now that's a deep drive from Mahoney into center field, and it's the second flyout he's going to have to center. But now runners will tag up. Grant gets to third. Harry gets home. It's only a sac fly. It wasn't enough to get Mahoney on base, but it was an RBI, and it did advance a runner to third base. So certainly a good at-bat for Mahoney there, and USN score their 6th run of the day.
Yeah, and you also pointed this out earlier, looking over at the scoreboard. 6 errors for the Ravens. That's something that really makes it tough on the pitcher. Regan's pitched a nice game, I feel like.
Yeah, he hasn't been too bad. It has been the defense that's hurting him a little bit. And some of those are self-inflicted. He had that one over from the first base. Now he throws the ball here. High and outside, 1-0 count. But he hasn't pitched a good game. Certainly, for a lot of pitches, he's got to be staying out here. It's getting late in the 4th inning. And he third base. Owen block at the plate. Got ball here. He grounds that one on the left side of the field, just outside of the third base dugout. 1-1 on the sophomore Owen now. So 1-1 after that foul ball. There's some sort of stoppage of play here. And now the umpire will throw the ball to Murguia. Looks like he had to go get a ball from the USN dugout. And now we have a runner on third base yet again. Still a 1-1 count. Lands over the fence. 1-2 count for Owen now. Out here. And he drives that one. That one goes over the shortstop's head in the left field. That will be the score. Takes around going to second base. He takes a round the bag, takes a few big steps, slip down, looking down to second. He decided against it, but as he was going down to first base, he fouled out. Gets back with plenty of time though as that ball gets in the infield right as he was about a step away from first base. So he stays alive and he scores the 7th run for USN. Another good RBI for the Tigers, and they increase their lead. They just need 4 more runs. I think it's 10 runs in the 5th inning, so never mind. Owen flips second there as that pitch wasn't ball. And I'm right to say that it's 10 runs in the 5th inning.
That's my understanding of the rule. Although, that was what we were saying Tuesday, and then that game ended after 5 with an 8-run deficit. So maybe it's not. That's what we were told by Coach Stout, and hard to get a more reliable source than that.
The catcher, 2-0 count now. I'm not quite sure what the rule is on in 4 innings. No, in 3 innings, I believe it's 15 runs. In 4 innings, it could be 10. We'll see. And some of these guys will score. 18 game run gold. Now Nathan drives that one foul. A lot of foul balls. The wind is really starting to pick up. That's going to be another ball. 3-1 count now for Nathan. He did count that ball off to be a strike. The 3-1 count for the senior catcher. Wind is starting to die down here a little bit, it seems. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on. Hit right to the shortstop. Bryant makes the throw to first base, and it's just enough to get him. So, was retired, but he moved Owen over to first base. He almost beat that throw out. Nathan, not knowing for being a fast guy, but he really did turn on the afterburners there, and he almost beat that throw. Just didn't quite get it. But they've got a runner on third now. Owen Block is at third base, and now stepping to the plate. The sophomore, Aiden Savona, that's the leader hitter. So one sophomore trying to drive another sophomore home from third base, and here's the first pitch. And he watches that one go by. It'll be a ball low. So now we're getting inside to the catcher. Go and get the tie himself as he saw Murguia wasn't coming, but he didn't have his score. So 2 outs, 1 beat that throw, and it bounced in the first baseman. It was glove, and he dropped it. Aiden was well there before the top. So Aiden got 2 outs. He steps up to the plate. Townsend Stevenson, number 23. It had died down earlier, still much less than it had been earlier, but there is a slight presence of rain here at the River Campus baseball field. And that's going to be a low strike on Townsend. That one looked outside of his strike zone, as Townsend is a tall player. The umpire called it a strike. 1-1 is the count. Checks back at first base. He loves to pick off, but he throws a pitch here. That one low and inside, certainly low enough to be outside of any batter's strike zone, as that ball is just above the dirt. 2-1. Surprised we haven't seen a pickoff here from McGee. He does love to pick off to first base, but Aiden not really giving him much of a reason to. He's taking short leads, not being too daring in the base paths so far. Here's the 2-1 count, and hits that one. It's high in right center field. That one will hit the gap. Aiden gonna try to get to third base, and he's gonna try to score now to get the throw into the infield. Aiden, and the throw is wide. Aiden will score in time. So a 1-run double for Townsend. We'll see if he throws up the U here, but that's a solid RBI. If the wind was carrying the ball towards the fence, that probably could have been a home run. He does throw up the U there to celebrate with his teammates, and it's 9-1.
Townsend crushed that. That ball landed like a soft sand wedge out there in center field. No roll whatsoever. Was slightly misjudged because, of course, the outfielders were naturally expecting the typical bounce. They overran it a little bit. Just time for Aiden to score.
It is tough to deal with. I'm going to take advantage of the use of the courtesy runner here. Francis at the plate. He swings and misses at that one. Let's cover Colin Eliza's first at bat was during the time when our broadcast went out. We were unable to cover it. Our computer went out, our camera went out, our mic went out. Nothing was working, so we were not able to cover that at bat, but we got this one here. That ball bounces in, now Brock is going to split the base. Hits it and he slides just for good measure, but he was safe by a mile. So now 2 outs. Not a great position to be in out-wise, but they've got a 1-1 count and another runner on third base. You love to have runners in scoring position. USN has been taking advantage, haven't left a lot of runs on the board. Lately, they did that a little bit against East Nashville, not doing it in the last couple of innings, and we'll see what happens here. Colin Francis swings at that one, and it goes to the shortstop Bryant. Can he make a play on this one? Brock scores, and he will score. Colin gets there to first base in time. He decided not to throw it to first base because Colin was there. And they just can't seem to find a solution. They overran that deep drive on the Townsend hit. He was unable to get that back. It's tough to play out here like this.
If he decided to leave it or if it was a bad transfer. It did look like he fielded it cleanly and would have had a chance to double down the line.
And Kevin stole second base there. Coach G told him to stay there just because you don't want to get too risky out here. Left field is not going to time. Put a little bit of close play. I know maybe making throws. You kind of get gotten there with the back from Cambridge as well. You don't want to count on that. You've got one runner in scoring position now, and Colin Francis second base. You've got Dylan Walsh at first, who just got that single. out from the catcher to second base, and that is an unwise decision. Colin France will move on to third. Dylan gets to second. But that Dylan Washington, he got out of base. Right on the side. Had the circumstances been a little different, where the ball kept on going. Count, so still definitely not under much pressure yet. You want to see him put these 2 runs. Score these 2 runs, and like I said, if not, that is correct for this game play.
The scoreboard now showing 10-1. So I think that.
Oh no, yeah, you only need 1 more.
I think you only need 1 more.
Yeah, right. The score is 10-1. Put that on our scoreboard as well. I think it's going to be only need that 1 run, which would come from, looks like Colin must have gotten a courtesy runner. He must be the new pitcher. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it doesn't look like he's at third base. Looks like that's might be Adam Wing. I can't quite tell who that is at third base, but it is not Colin France. I can see him in his Columbia blue undershirt under his jersey. There's no sleeves on this runner. But either way, 2 runners on in scoring position, and Harry Fitzgibbon at the plate with a 2-1 count. We got 2 outs, and we yet again have a 10-1 ball game. He drives that one down the third base line. He gets by the third baseman. The runner will score. We'll see if that's the game or if they keep on playing. But Harry's at first base. Dylan is at third, and it looks like they're going to keep playing ball here as the score is 11-1.
Yeah, Coach Scout said 10 runs after 5. We're in the bottom of the 4th, although time is being called. Yeah,
looks like it's to deal with
manager.
Looks like it's to deal with this first and third situation that we have. We've got Harry Fitzgibbon on first, Dylan Washko at third. But even if USN gets out of this inning, if it is 10 after 5, then they go out in the field, they make a couple plays quickly, and you can see that be the ball game.
We can go be someplace warm like all our listeners are, hopefully. We envy you very greatly right now. I've seen my good friend Reed. He's had some shivers out here. It's got to be 45 degrees with wind gusts 20 miles an hour, rain. It's a tough day to be out here.
You're right. It's a cold, rainy, and windy day, and that's going to be a ball. Grant Riley is in the box now. He has a 2-0 count. Certainly the conditions, it's not beautiful baseball weather out here. It's not 65 or 70 and sunny as it was the last time we were covering a baseball game, but just grateful to be here for some USN sports. He swings and misses with that one. The ball gets by the catcher. Dylan decided not to go run home as he got there in time to keep the play from happening. But like I said, just the fact that there are USN Spring Sports to cover is just fantastic. We love watching the Tigers play, no matter the sport, and we're glad to be here. Harry. Nobody's going Harry in the first, down the third. Ball inside. He might not be stealing Harry here. Just out of courtesy, it's not much of a ball game. It's 11-1. But at the same time, they don't put the game away, so they might steal back. Low strike. I really can't believe they called that a strike to make it a 3-2 count now on Grant. Almost in the dirt. Still caught it in the air. Maybe it came over the plate in the strike zone and dipped lower. I'm not quite sure. It didn't look like a strike to me, but 3-2 count regardless. Harry steals. He'll walk. Dylan. Ryan gets there on the backup to pick it up and hold him there just in time. So base is loaded now, and we have the leadoff batter, Mahoney Donick, stepping up to the plate. He goes and meets with the left here. Stepping on the mound. the mound. Bryant will be the new pitcher here for Cane Ridge. And all the runners will go and have a meeting now.
During this little break, I think that if Coach Scouten is listening or Dr. Duran is listening, I don't think it would be too much to ask for a simple climate control, internet capable little booth or hut, preferably booth, something sheltered, at each of the fields. That's all that we're asking for. That's going to allow us to deliver a better product to you.
And of course, when we had the camera earlier, obviously it wasn't working. We had to fit it in between this chain link fence. If we were to have some elevation, certainly it'd be a great view for the fans. We would love some sort of broadcasting apparatus like that. But of course, once again, we are just happy to be here. So the runners head back to the bases. Bryant throwing his final warm-up pitches. He was the shortstop, now pitcher. And Mahoney is the leadoff batter. Looks like that was the final warm-up pitch that got by the catcher. But Donick steps into the box now. We have 2 outs, an 0-0 count as he is about to take his first pitch. And the bases loaded. Strike 1. Low and outside, but hit that corner well. 1 strike. We look to the USN bullpen now. We have Dylan Washko warming up with his brother Wyatt. Usually you don't see Dylan throwing pitches to Wyatt as Wyatt's a pitcher. Dylan's a catcher, but Dylan is warming up the pitch now. That pitch goes by the catcher, and it's picked up. No runners decide to go. If they desperately needed a run, they probably could have gotten one there. But it's 11-1. It's not much of a ball game. So they don't need this run. The next pitch swung on, fouled into the right side of foul territory. Rain starting to pick up here after the games. Not extremely favorable conditions here. Rain starting to get worse as it was around 3:30 or so. It's picking back up, and now a swing there from Mahoney. It goes to third base, and it'll be a foul ball. It was bobbled by the third baseman. He tried to get it on the backhand. It skipped over his glove, but it was a foul ball. So everyone heads back to their respective bases, and Mahoney heads back home. We have a 1-2 count on Donick. Pitch to Donick. Check swings. Strike 3. Looked like the check swing wasn't completely there, but it was a good enough pitch to get a strike anyway. It was an inside fastball. So that'll be the inning, 11-1. And unfortunately, as this rain is getting worse, we are going to have to back it up just in order to protect our broadcast equipment from getting wet out here. But the game is 11-1. Tigers locking up a solid win out here, unless Cane Ridge can come away with something miraculous. You can follow the rest of the game if you do so desire on Game Changer with some constant updates there. But we do have to sign off here to protect our broadcasting equipment. Thank you for tuning in to another radio broadcast of USN Baseball. We really do appreciate all of our viewers, or I guess listeners this time, and watch again our next broadcast. We will announce when that'll be, but make sure you check back in with us for some more USN Spring Sports events. For Dr. Fitz, my name is Reed Murray. Thank you for tuning in to another broadcast of USN Sports.